Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's finally here. Welcome to season 19 of the Castrol GTX Cup Series. And this is the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. And we'll see what happens in 30 laps we're about to have here on this 2.5-mile racetrack. And we had a great race in the twin 125s, at the qualifying races leading up to the 500. We have new faces, old familiar faces, and some old faces we haven't seen in the series in a while. So should be an interesting season this season. Had a great season last season, and we hope for another good one here this year. So with all that said and done, let's get to the starting line for today's running of the season 19 Daytona 500 for the Castrol GTX Cup Series. Here's the starting lineup. On the pole at 191 miles an hour, it is Charles Sanford. Car number 41, the Kodiak Chevrolet. He is flanked by the number 17 Western Auto Parts America Chevy of rookie Shane Lake. Row 2, it's JT Bryant, number 12. He's on the inside, and the outside of him is Paul Minnick, number 18, the Interstate Battery Chevrolet, winner last season at Atlanta. Third row, we'll have car number 21, the Sitco Ford of Jason Haywood, winner last season at the Brickyard 400. And Cole Diva, the GM Goodwin Chevrolet, car number 3. He's on the outside. The fourth row, it's Keith Batson, car 20 at the Texaco Haviland Ford. And Michael Whitman in car 24, the DuPont Chevrolet. Going to row number 5, it's Joshua Osborne, car number 37, the Little Caesars Kmart Ford. And number 5, the Kellogg's Cornflakes Chevrolet of Phil Parker. He's on the outside, winner last season's Rookie of the Year and last season at Rockingham. Next row, it's number 1, the Hooters Pontiac of Alexander Rowe, and Becca Tellier in the Valvoline Ford, car number 6. Next row down, it's another rookie, Al Lagacy in the Skull Bandit Chevrolet, and Kyle Matthews, one of our 3 in-car cameras, in number 42, the Silver Bullet Coors Light Pontiac. Charles Sanford is our other in-car camera, is our second in-car camera in today's event. I should say Sanford's our first one, and then Matthews is the second one. Next row down is Chelsea Bowles in car 77, and number 23, it's Ryan George. Next row down, there are 2 of the veterans, Dylan Young in the number 2, and number 15, Preston Plord is on the outside in a pair of Fords. And then follow that up with a pair of Chevrolets. It's Kev Shearer, car number 71. And back with the team as he was last season, it's William Brock in number 4, the Kodak Film Chevrolet, switching manufacturers from an Oldsmobile last season. Then it's the Morgan Shepherd colors of Quentin Moore, the biggest Morgan Shepherd fan in our community. And number 44, the Phoenix Racing Chevrolet of Jonathan Zorlin. Next row down has car number 10, Ryan Acosta. Great to see him back in this series in the Tide Chevrolet car number 10. And number 90, Jordan Lopez, a second season driver on the outside. Next row down, it's Kat Batson, car number 88. Yep, she was Kat Tellier. Now she's Kat Batson. She's a married woman now, married to Keith Batson, the driver of the number 28 car. She was winner last season in California, and alongside of her in the King Richard Petty colors, it's Joshua Collard, looking to make a go of it in number 43. Then it's Kyle Langland, the winner of the last 2 races last season, in the number 25 Budweiser Chevrolet, and Dylan Potey, the only 2-time Daytona 500 champion. Next row down has Johnny Gardner, car number 16, the Family Channel Prime Star Ford, winner of the first ever Daytona 500 in this series, and number 8, the Circuit City Ford of Glenn Dudehead. He's on the outside. Next row down has Max Anderson, car 98, the RCA Ford, and number 7, the QBC Ford of Mike Becker. Next row down has Zachary Fitzwater in car number 29, the Cartoon Network Chevrolet, and back with the Levi and welcome me back to the series, Levi McIntyre, 99 DXI Bears SKF Ford. Next row down we'll have Patrick Smith in car number 11, the Lowe's Ford, and alongside of him, Jack Lagacy in the Burger King Chevrolet. He's a rookie, and another rookie in this series. And another rookie is in the series, but a familiar name to the Pizza Hut X series, Audra Baranowskis in the Pennzoil Pontiac car number 30, and we're about to get the command the Farty engines here at Daytona.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Well, you hear it. The engines have roared to life at Daytona. Audra Baranowskis at number 30, the Pennzoil Pontiac, the familiar face to the Pizza Hut X Series. She's on the inside of the next row down. She'll be alongside Nick Baxter, number 81, to Square D Ford. Next row down has car number 94, Jessica Shelton, the four-time champion in the series. She has her third in-car camera, the McDonald's Ford car number 94. Beside her will be number 19, Jesse Turner, and the Hell Source Ford. He's on the outside. And starting shotgun is Ashlyn Boyd in car number 9, the Spam Ford. He's on the outside. Winner of 2 races in his career so far. Looking for a third. And that completes the starting lineup for the season 19 Daytona 500. Cars line up in perfect formation for the moment, but when the next time they come off the second turn, they'll be approaching 180 miles per hour. Remember, we hit qualifying at 191 miles per hour in qualifying leading up to the Gatorade 125 dual races to try to improve your spot for the 500. So, well, those races are over. We have the front row of Charles Sanford, one of our in-car cameras in today's event, and rookie Shane Lake on the outside. Then you have the winners of the dual races, JT Bryant, the winner of race number 1 and number 12 on the inside, and on the outside, the winner of race number 2, that's Paul Minnick in the Interstate Battery Chevrolet. And we had 2 excellent dual races leading up to the 500, but as the old saying goes, the BS stops right now. As the green flag is about ready to wave, and it's time to get serious. Season 19 of the Castrol GTX Cup Series is underway, and boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, boys and girls. And on the break, Charles Sanford jumps out in front in car number 41. Into second position goes number 12, JT Bryant. And Jason Haywood wasting no time. He's in the third spot now. Batson and Shane Lake battling for fourth position. And here comes the battle for the lead. And here comes Haywood's going to make a 3 wide at number 21. The Wood Brothers machine jumps out in front. And right behind him goes Keith Batson. 2 of the KAB Enterprises cars locked together first and trying for second position right now is Batson. 3 wide for that third spot, or fourth spot. Joshua Osborne goes inside, but the first lap being led by Jason Haywood. The first lap tied at 173.3 miles per hour, but they're just getting warmed up. This lap's going to be much faster. And to the top spot goes Keith Batson for the moment. Batson, who nearly won that first race, could not catch JT Bryant at the last minute of the race. And here comes Osborne. He looks strong in the dual races himself in the number 37. And he'll look inside. He's got the number 1 of Alexander Rowe right behind him. And here comes Shane Lake trying to pull up behind the JT Bryant automobile on the outside of the track. Now Bryant looks outside here as they come off the fourth quarter to the start-finish line. And Batson's going to lead the second lap of the race. And that second lap tied at 196.6 miles per hour. And let's remember, in the Gatorade 125 and Gatorade Twin 125s, we saw laps well over 200 miles per hour in the draft. So they may approach that today. Alexander Rowe looks inside. Here he looks for second position on Joshua Osborne and Al Lagasse. And number 33, he's up on the high side. New driver of the Skull Bandit Chevy. That car's ran by Zachary Fitzwater last season as a Buick. And here comes Chelsea Bowles, number 77. That's one of Johnny Gardner's drivers. She looks inside for third spot on Osborne, and she's got one of the veterans, Dylan Young. Young from right here in the state of Florida. He would love to get a Daytona 500 winner in this series himself for his hometown fans. Batson for the moment still leads that third lap at just over 197, almost 198 miles an hour. And here they come. Here comes Bryant to the inside. He's got the shove from Cole Beaver, number 3. Watch that black number 3 move his way. He looks strong in the second 125s. But the 125s was one event. This is a whole nother story. And any one of those 41 cars can potentially win this race. And it's still Batson holding number 1. Second is Bowles. Third is Bryant. Fourth is Deaver. Fifth is now Rowe. But here comes Bowles and Bryant as they go to the inside. JT Bryant goes to lead, and he's going to bring Cole Deaver with him, or Deaver actually thought about going with Bryant. Now he does go with Bryant, excuse me. And right behind him comes Quentin Moore in the Morgan Shepherd colors. You got a Chevrolet squished in between two Fords on the inside lane. Kat Batson, number 88, she looks inside. She looks in the top 10 position now, trying for top 5. And there you see husband and wife right together. The husband on the high side, the wife on the low side. That's Keith in the 28 and Kat in the 88. And now it's JT Bryant going in the first place, second position. Now goes Deaver. Kat and Keith, of course, both the pilots for Robert Yates Racing. And here comes number 25. That's Kyle Langley making the move to Hendrick Motorsports this season in the Ken Schrader colors. That's the Budweiser Chevrolet. And JT Bryant leads his first time of the day, but here comes that black number 3, Cole Deaver. To the number 1 spot, the pride of the state of Georgia goes to the front. And in the second now goes Quentin Moore, number 75. He's won in the series before, but not since I think the last time I think he won was like a couple of seasons ago at Michigan. But that doesn't last long as Deaver and Moore does not lead for long as here comes Kat Batson to the inside, number 88. As she brings the Dale Jarrett colors to the number 1 spot, trying to do the same thing what he did back in 1996 with this car. That was win the 500. Seven laps into the event, just an explosive start to the Daytona 500. Here comes Johnny Gardner to the inside. He's going to take the lead from the help of the 98 car of Max Anderson. Anderson last season drove the Valvoline number 75 with the Aero 88 mod. Now this season driving for Cale Yarborough. As he comes down the backstretch here, and here comes 29. That's the Zachary Fitzwater automobile. Number 11, that is the car of Patrick Smith. And don't look now, but here comes that 94, Jessica Shelton, the 4-time champion of the series. She's won about everything else in this series, but never the Daytona 500. On board, Jessica Shelton's car. She's being clocked this time by an 8. She has won one of the Crown Jewel events in this series before, but that was the Southern 500 down in Darlington. And she won that race 2 seasons in a row. Last season and a season before that. But right now she's on the inside of JT Bryant looking for position. She's got the Shepherd and the 37 of Joshua Osborne. And now 3-1 racing up in the middle. That's Keith Batson stuck in the middle between Kev Shear and Chelsea Bowles. And now Bowles is now going to be on the outside of the 10 of Ryan Acosta. Slicing and dicing here at Daytona International Speedway. Just here racing the way it ought to be in the Castrol GTX Cup Series as they go into turn number 1 again. Paul Minnick, he's in this mix as well, as is Bowles, the 8 car of Glenn Doodhit. He's one of the rookies in this series. Dylan Young back there, Shane Lake, Levi McIntyre, Jack Lagacy. 5 car, that is the car of Phil Parker, winner last season at Rockingham, and also the defending rookie, and also last season's Rookie of the Year. And our pole sitter, Charles Sanford, stuck in the back of that 41 car. On board, Charles Sanford's car. And that's the view from Kyle Matthews' car. Matthews way back in the back, following Michael Whitman, the surprise driver in that 24 car. As we mentioned, Whitman last season drove for Roush Fenway Racing in the number 6 Strolight Ford. Now making the move to the Hendrick Motorsports camp in the Jeff Gordon colors. You usually would see guys like Kyle Matthews or Kev Shearer or Charles Sever in that ride, or maybe possibly Phil Parker, but Michael Whitman, a very unexpected candidate in that ride there. But but the goodness for Michael Whitman in that 24 car. That 24 car has had some success in this series. Actually has won 2 championships all time in the series. One with Ashley Sears in season 3, and the other with Charles Sanford in season 15. Patrick Smith had the point there, but here comes Jessica Shelton. She's going to get the shove from Joshua Osborne. And it's going to be Jessica Shelton going in the first place now at number 94, but Osborne looks to the inside now. And Shelton says, nuh-uh, and she will lead that lap. And it's in the fastest laps of the race right there. The 90 car of Jordan Lopez is the fastest at almost 200 miles per hour, 199.8. And they are averaging over 196 miles an hour here as they come down the backstretch into turn 3. And it's Joshua Collard to the inside looking for second, and he's going to get it. He's going to follow Shelton for a while now. And got some new players in this field right there. Mike Becker in third position now. Going into fourth now goes the 19 car of Jesse Turner, who won a race last season. I think he won a race last season. I'm not sure, actually, to be honest. No, actually, he came close to winning a race last season. He won it. He was second at Bristol last season to Shelton. But Jesse Turner has won a race in this series before. Last time coming in season 16 at Watkins Glen, and now Mike Becker goes to second. Shelton leads another lap again as they come in the turn. As they come up across the start finish line, that completes the 14th lap of the event, almost halfway home in the Daytona 500. Kev Shearer now goes in the fourth position. In the fifth now goes Acosta. And number 10, the Acosta name has been around for since way back in the very first of this series in season 1. Except it was not Ryan behind the wheel. It was his sister Jasmine behind the wheel. And she, I think, has won a race in the series. I'm actually not sure of that, to be honest. Mike Becker now goes inside. He'll look for the lead on Shelton. He's going to get it coming off turn number 4. A little bit of tandem drafting going on there between the 7 and 71 and the 19 and the 94 cars. 3 Fords and a Chevrolet in that bunch right there. But that's going to end right now because here comes the 10 car of Ryan Acosta. Number 10, the Tide Chevrolet. Or Tide Ford, excuse me. Mike Becker does have a plate win this last season that came at Talladega. In the first race over there, he actually had a plate win last season, excuse me, not this season. We're on the first race of the season, actually. The one I'm talking about. Maybe he had a plate win last season at Talladega Super Speedway in the first stop over there. As they come out the fourth corner, that scored 1 of 3 wins for Buick last season with the Aero 88 mod. Now there are just 3 manufacturers with this mod. This is the 1996 car set for the original Cup mod. That's what they're using. Becker to the lead. Here comes number 18. That's Paul Minnick, winner of the second Gatorade 125s as he looks inside. Nope, Glenn Doodhit had the inside lane already locked, and he'll move inside, and it's one of the rookies, Glenn Doodhit, to the lead. Number 8, the Circuit City Ford to the number 1 spot. As they come to the start-finish line, Al Legacy and the number 33 Skull Bandit Chevy. He goes to second position now. And you got two of the rookies in that mix there, Dylan Young and Johnny Gardner. 2 and 16, a pair of Fords on the inside. Ford has the bulk of the field at 23 cars, believe it or not. 13 Chevrolets and I think 5 Pontiacs in the field. Actually, in fact, I'm pretty sure this is the count there. 23 Fords, 13 Chevrolets, and 5 Pontiacs in the field. Making up 42 car, making up this 41 car field. And it's Glenn Duhit to the number 1 spot. He actually led his first lap of the season with that last time by, and he'll lead this lap again as they come to the start-finish line. And we're closing up already on 10 laps to go here at Daytona. And as we said before, any of these 41 cars can potentially win this race. So don't pencil in your winner yet, because it's going to get very exciting in these last few laps here at Daytona. Johnny Gardner to the inside. He looks inside of Dylan Young. He's got 87 car. That's Jack Lagacy, another one of the rookies in the Burger King Chevy. That's the car for Nemco Motorsports as they come off turn number 4. So you got Fords occupying 4 of the first 5 spots. The only non-Ford product is, of course, one we're looking at, Jack Lagacy in the Chevy, the Burger King car, but that's going to end right now because here comes the number 1 car, another non-Ford product. That's Alexander Rowe. As he brings Pontiac now into the top 5, but here comes number 17, Shane Lake, moving up from the Truck Series last season, where he won over at Pocono. In fact, he had a great season in the Advocare Truck Series last season. Of course, that series can be seen on the Red Racer 1985 channel, which has now since been put on the back burner for a while. Into turn number 1, 10 laps to go. And this is the part of the race, as Kenny Rogers says, you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And the chips are down right now. You paid your money, now take your choice. Dude still has the lead though. He's led for a while, but here comes the number 1 car of Alexander Rowe looks for the lead now in the number 1 car. So nobody has made a move in an 8 car just yet. As he's done a very impressive job keeping the lead for the moment. And that's the Stavola Brothers machine, by the way, that number 8 car is. And that car that car last season was a Buick with Miller American as a sponsor on that car. Number 1 car, that's Alexander Rowe, second position. Third is Shane Lake. Ashland Boyd, who won the last time he was at Daytona for the Pepsi 400. He's in this mix now in the number 9 Melling car. He's got another Ford behind him. That's Becca Tellier, number 6, one of the KB Enterprises cars. Eight laps to go. Ford, first, second, and third. The 8, the 9, and the 6. And throw a 4th one in there, the 23 car of Ryan George. As he now goes to the 4th position now. And here comes the number 24 DuPont. That's Michael Whitman. He finished 3rd in the second 125s. So we know that 24 car is pretty strong. And here comes Ashland Boyd for the lead. Ashland Boyd, a second season driver. As he and Glenn Duhit alongside, side by side out the 4th corner now. And it's number 9, Ashland Boyd in the number 1 spot now, as he has got Ryan George behind him in the Smoking Joe Ford. Man, this is a 195-mile-an-hour pace lap. And look at this right there. We have got lap speeds now at over 200 miles per hour, so they're not playing around now. And that fastest lap being turned by Phil Parker, number 5. Phil Parker, Charles Samuel, Levi McIntyre, Quentin Moore, and Jason Hayden have all hit 200 miles an hour. And here comes number 24, Michael Whitman, to the lead now. And here comes... and right behind him comes Preston Die Farm City Plord. Number 15. Three wide per second. Here comes number 81. Nick Baxter looks to the inside here. And here comes the number 4. That we haven't talked about him at all today. That is William Brock in number 4. That team switching from Oldsmobile to Chevrolet last season. They still got Kodak as a sponsor in that car. On board, Kyle Matthews' car. Matthews running in the top 10. Winner of 2 races last season at North Wilkesboro in Michigan. 5 laps to go. Matthews had time by. Clocked in the 6th position. And meantime, 3 racing about 3 or 4 rows deep. Oh boy. Don't pencil in that winner yet, because like I said, this is not over by a long shot. 3 wide! William Brock to the lead, number 4. And he's going to have Kyle Matthews behind him in number 42. And the whole field separated by less than 2 seconds. 41st place car, 1.91 seconds back behind the leader, with now 4 laps to go. And it's Kyle Matthews to the number 1 spot. And here comes number 10, Ryan Acosta to the inside. One of the KV cars right there in this mix. At number 21, Jason Haywood. He won the Brickyard for her last season in the Sitco Ford. For the winners, and here comes number 41, Charles Sanford. On board, Charles Sanford's car, number 41, the Kodiak Chevrolet. Three laps to go. Sanford was the pole sitter for the event. Phil Parker's getting into it now. Levi McIntyre getting into it for Rockin' Wrestling Racing. Number 21's behind this mix now, and that's Patrick Smith. And we haven't talked about this guy at all yet today. That's the 22 of Dylan Poteet, the first ever winner in the first ever champion, I should say, in the Castrol GTX Cup Series, way back in season 1. The man who runs the Mountain Dew Racing Series. Two laps to go. And into turn number 1, it's now Ryan Acosta to the lead. But here comes that snarling pack. Charles Sanford closing right in. Phil Parker getting into it now, as is Levi McIntyre. White flag will be waving this time by for the Daytona 500. Here we go at about in the third turn at well over 200 miles an hour. Here we go. Acosta's going to lead them down off the 4th corner. The white flag's going to be waving. 1 more lap to go. What's Charles Sanford going to do back there? Where are they going to make the where if at all are they going to make their move? In turn 1, Acosta deploys first. Sanford a second. Third to Phil Parker. Here they come off turn number 2. What are they going to do now? Backstretch. Sanford hooked up behind as they go on the third turn. Here comes Sanford for the inside for the lead. The pole Sanford to 500. Phil Parker takes a peek to the inside as they come up the 4th corner now. Last sprint. Parker looks to the inside of Charles Sanford. Here they come to the finish line. Is Parker going to have enough? No, he does not. The season 19 Daytona 500 belongs to Charles Sanford. He has won it. gets his first Daytona 500 championship. The number 41 Kodiak Chevrolet wins the pole at 191 miles an hour and now wins the biggest of them all, the Daytona 500. Phil Parker is going to come home second, third to Ryan Acosta, a heartbreaker for him. Fourth to Levi McIntyre, and fifth place to Jason Haywood. Sixth place will go to Patrick Smith, seventh to Dylan Poteet, Kyle Matthews eighth, ninth to Dylan Young, and Johnny Gardner will finish the race in 10th place. What a 500 that was! And the pride from the state of California, Charles Sanford, wins here today. His first ever win at Daytona, and it comes at the biggest of them all. Who would have thought? So, average speed of 196.421 miles an hour. Margin of victory, 87,000th of a second. And let's get to the rest of the finishing order for you here. William Block comes home in 11th. Quentin Moore, 12th. Nick Baxter, 13th. Jonathan Zorlin, 14th. Michael Whitman, 15th. 16th will go to Preston Plord. 17th will go to Joshua Osborne. 18th to Shane Lake. 19th to Chelsea Bowles. And Jordan Lopez is going to end up in 20th. Glenn Duthid, who led actually for quite a good chunk of the race, ends up 21st in today's event. Ryan George was 22nd, 23rd. Audra Baranauskas. Jack Legacy, 24th. 25th, Cole Deaver. 26th was Max Anderson. Ashlyn Boyd, 27th. 28th, Becca Tellier. Alexander Rowe, 29th. Mike Becker comes home in 30th. And the rest of the finishing order, Al Legacy, Kyle Langland, Paul Minnick, Keith Batson, Jessica Shelton, way back in 35th. In today's event, Kat Batson, 36th. So the Yates cars who ran pretty well in the duels, not so much today in the 500, unfortunately for them. Zachary Fitzwater, 37th. JT Bryant, 38th. 39th, Joshua Collar, Kev Scherer, 40th. And unfortunately for Jesse Turner, he would be the caboose in the field in today's event. But so the Daytona 500 for season 19 is history, and Charles Sanford gets his first ever Daytona 500 victory as he out-snookers the 10-car of Ryan Acosta on the last lap going into the third turn with the help of the 5 of Phil Parker, who actually tried to make a move on the inside coming to the checkers, just could not muster enough speed under the hood of that Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet of his. But still a great season for both, but still a great start to the season for all drivers here today. And so the next race on the tour will be at Rockingham for the GM Goodrich Service 400 at the 1.017 mile racetrack here as the season is underway for the Castrol GTX Cup Series. So if you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We have everything on this channel. We have in our races, gaming videos, whatever the person of the NNSCRA Seth Cole desires for this channel. And be sure to check out Seth's series as well, the Texas Truck Series, the Pizza Hut X Series, and the NNSCRA Hershey's Cup Series. Be sure to check out those races as well. And you will not regret it because these are some of the best. Those are some of the best races we have in offline competition. So, with all that said, this is James Qualls. This is in production of the NNSCRA offline racing at its best. We'll see you from Daytona, where Charles Sanford has won the season 19 Daytona 500. So long, everyone.